can get the best loan. You're going to now have multiple banks access your credit, and I'm going to show you how to do it, tell you how to do it right now without having it hurt your credit through multiple hard inquiries, which normally will reduce your score. The credit bureaus allow you up to 45 days. The Experian article says between 14 and 45 days to let people access your credit with hard pulls, and it will only weigh on your score as one hard pull. So we can let them compete, which is what we do here. We let banks compete for our business. We let dealerships compete for our business. We let buyers, cash buyers compete for our trades. And so what you're going to do first is find your vehicle. That's the first thing. You do not, I know you may have heard, Deshone, I should get a pre-approval. When banks start giving pre-approvals without hard credit pulls, these three things need to go away for us to start getting pre-approvals, because they're now onto us. They're onto the fact that savvy buyers are getting pre-approvals, and it's a buzzword, and they've now found a way to market to us and limit us through three things. Expiration dates, which means this pre-approval is only good for 30 days. Well, unless you're in an emergency shopping position, we don't like to rush our shopping. When you are shopping with your back against the wall and there's a timeline against you, you typically have to make a deal quicker, and we don't like that. Now, emergency situations, that's different. Second thing is, people will say, well, in order to give you a pre-approval, we need a hard credit pull. We absolutely don't want to do that, because that's going to open up the window and start that clock ticking to where the credit bureaus only say you only have a couple more days to let a lot of people access your credit before, when that window closes, now a hard credit pull, if it dropped your credit 9 points, for example, another hard credit pull is going to continue to drop it. So we don't want a hard credit pre-approval. And then the third thing is, we don't want to limit where we can shop. We don't want to need to have a car. Some of the pre-approval will say, hey, well, we can't give you a pre-approval if you don't have the car first. Well, I'm only coming for the pre-approval so I can go find the car. So because those three things are set up, we don't get pre-approvals. Here's what we do. We are going to use the average interest rate. Average interest rate, you can Google it, MarketWatch says it. You're going to put that into a budgeting tool. I'm going to release soon my perfect budget calculator, which is in my book. Some of you who have my book, you know this. What it is, we plug in our interest rate, we plug in our ideal monthly payment, and it's going to tell us exactly how much we can spend on a car based on our state, taxes, fees, everything. That's coming soon. So just make sure you're tuned in, make sure you're on my email list, or if you want to use it today, it's in my book. It's in step 3 of our process. We only need a pre-approval to budget. No different than if we were shopping for a house. We're getting a pre-approval so we can go budget. So how do we do this? We don't let anyone access our credit until after we find our car. Once you find your best deal, your best car, then you're going to get the paperwork, a buyer's order. A buyer's order is simply a long form receipt that's going to show them that you can now come home and talk to many banks and credit unions as you want. Your bank, online banks, on your credit union. And this is the second round. Let these people fight at it. You don't have to worry about this, because this process of getting these bids is only going to take you 2 days if you do it the way I'm telling you to do it. So you'll have plenty of time. You're within the window, and all these people are going to be fighting to throw money at you and offer you the best rate. And now when you close that round, which is your bank, your credit union, and online lenders, you can Google online car loans. Let all these people get a shot. We want as many bids as possible. After we get the best offer there, we're going to call the dealership and we're going to say, hey, this is the rate that I got. If you guys can beat it, I'll do the deal with you. That's round 3. So round 2 is all the banks at home, credit unions at home, online lenders at home. Round 3 is, can the dealer beat it? And that's how we know. At the end of the day, we got the absolute best loan. There's no way possible we could have got lower because so many people were bidding. That's how we do it. That's the bank bidding war. All right. Great question, Adrian. All right. Shoot the next one up. Welcome to everybody who just tapped in. We're on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. We're bringing questions from all the platforms. So just type your questions. I'm gonna get through as many as I can in the hour. All right, let's go fast as possible. All right, this is another one from TikTok. All right, listen, y'all, type your questions on Facebook and Instagram if y'all want to get in. TikTok is sending questions. Let's go. Dolan's gonna pull your questions, but you got to type them. And make sure, if you haven't invited a friend, if you're enjoying the broadcast, tag one friend, tag your best friend. If you gonna tag your best friend, imagine they go out shopping this weekend, overpay for their car. This is your best friend, and you're saying, man, I didn't even invite them to Deshone's show. All right, how negotiable are car prices when you get to the dealership? We don't negotiate car prices at the dealership. Stay on the show, tune in. You're probably new here. We never talk prices at the dealership ever. You have no leverage there. Everything we do is from home. Our entire model is called Cars from Home. 90% of your used car deals, if you use what I'm telling you, is done from home. 90 to 100% of your new car deal and your leases are done from home. That's how you save the big money. So stay on the broadcast, and you'll see how we do it here. Unlearn the old way. That's what we'll be about here. Go ahead, shoot the next one up, Dolan. Perry, the link to the book is in my TikTok bio. Click that picture of me. Just go right to the website. You won't leave the broadcast. You'll be able to hear us in the background. Get your book, 30 minutes, 75% off. It'll be in your inbox in a couple minutes. By the time you get off the show, it'll be in your inbox. You can dig in. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot it up. Okay, this one's from Instagram. Just got your ebook. Excited to read it and learn. Awesome. Appreciate it. Use it. Use it. Go ahead. Shoot the next one up, Dolan. Let's get through as many questions as we can. TikTok is asking all the questions I see. All right. So how do you start from home? How do you start from at home? Well, it depends on where you're buying from. What you're buying. If you're buying from Instagram, if you're buying from Instagram, if you're buying a new car or a lease, your process is going to be to get 5 offers. Who's shopping for a brand new car? Who's going to be shopping for a brand new car or a lease? Type in for new, because a lease is 99% of the time a new car. You're shopping for a new car, then type in. Okay. Here's your process, your goal, 5 offers. You're not going to see 80% of the dealers are overpriced. So out of those 5 offers, 4 are usually going to be overpriced, and some by a lot. So once you actually start, and now you could do this 2 ways. Manual way, go test drive your car, make sure you like it, pick something you like. If you're leasing, I like to have 3 options because leasing programs vary. Sometimes a vehicle has a bad lease program, and we won't know until we get the offers that there's a bad lease program. So once you figure out what you want, you come home, you call the sales manager, ask for the sales manager, you're going to get 5 offers. You must get 5, at least. We like to get 5 to 7. That's the manual way, talking to a sales manager. Now, the way that I teach in my book is based on scripts that I wrote. So that's the only reason that I can't go all the way. I can tell you about the scripts, but in my book, I link you to the scripts because you're copying and pasting. So whether you do it the manual way or whether, like my strategy is called the 25 to 5. We're connecting with 25 dealers. That gives us more inventory to shop out of. So if you call 5 dealers, yes, you can probably get to 5 offers, but you might have to call more because not everyone may have a car that you're interested in. So we shop out of 25 dealers to get 5 offers. And out of that 5 offers, 1 is going to blow the rest away. And that's how we shop for new cars. So that's how you would, if you just grasp that, that's how you want to go into your transaction with that mindset, which means when you're in the dealership, you're not interested in talking numbers. Do not. I had a woman come up to me a little while ago. I was having breakfast and it was such a blessing. She came up to me. She said, I just want you to know you've helped me so much. I've used the last 2 cars, I walked in, I test drive. I said, I'm here to test drive. After I test drove, I was out of there. I said, now you're doing it. I said, God bless you. Because that's where you want to be. You don't talk numbers in the dealership at all. All right, go ahead. Shoot the next one up, Dolan. This one's from Instagram. What would you suggest when the dealer tries to run your credit for a test drive? Some places do that. Well, first of all, it's not. It's a tactic. It's like walking into the mall and you're like, okay, yeah, I know I want to get me some new clothes, and they say, all right, can we have your credit card? You're like, wait, I haven't even looked at the clothes yet. Yeah, but can we just keep the credit card at the, I need the credit card. That's how I want you to look at this. It's ridiculous. So how you prevent this is you call. I have a particular way that I set up a test drive on a new car. You don't do this on used cars. You can't do this on used cars. You're gonna call, ask for the salesperson that's been there the longest. I like to ask, who's the person everybody loves? Who's the person been there the longest? Everybody loves them. Oh, that's Joe. Yeah, that's Joe. He's been here for 15 years. Hey Joe, how you doing? You know what? I'm interested in coming in, looking at this car. I just want to test drive. You got to be clear, y'all. I'm only going to be there 20 minutes. When you tell them I'm here to test drive, you're letting them know I'm just shopping. I'm deciding what I want. See, shopping is different from buying. Shopping and buying are very different. And from now on, we're not going to mix the two. In my book, I have something called shopping, not buying. That's step 4. That's deciding what you want. You're not going to let anyone rush you through this process. And you're also not going to take more time than you need to. So we're going to call, set up the test drive. And you don't need to have the exact car. If you're looking for a gray one, if you're looking for one that has the leather seats, as long as you're driving one similar, your goal is to make sure that you like it. And then when you come home, that's when you get offers. So if you set up the test drive with the right person, then you'll have a smooth test drive if you set it up the right way. You just go in, walk in, hey, I'm here to test drive, and you don't know who was next up on the platform. Now you got this new young kid. He trying to sell a car. He done ripped a couple people off early. He's still learning the business. He don't know what he's doing. He just try to make it money. Now he's like, oh, well, I need your credit. And then he's depending on people who unfortunately are ignorant and think, okay, if you do that, if you need it, then I guess you need it. And we're not falling for those games anymore. Okay, you're not going to fall for those games anymore. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up. Here's another one from TikTok. How do you know a car rep is honest and trustworthy? You don't. That's why we don't look for relationships. I don't need my car rep to be honest and trustworthy. You're going to win the bid or you're not. We're not interested anymore in having dinner with our car salesman. It's just not possible to do. If you want to do what I'm telling you to do, you're either, look, pick a choice, y'all, money or relationships. Type an M or an R. Type an M or an R. While y'all do that, I'm going to share this broadcast. Shout out to the share. And I'm not getting none. I asked you guys to inbox me ideas of what we could do for our sharers. What we could do for our sharers. And I need the sharers to inbox me. The people who don't share, nothing against them. You might be new here, Deshone. I'm not ready to share yet. No problem. Deshone, I don't have many friends on here. No problem. For the sharers, inbox me. What can we do for y'all? I want to do something every show for the people who tag a friend, bring a friend, share. Because you are the people who help us grow this show. So please inbox me. I don't read DMs because I get too many, but those I will make sure get to me. Okay? Money. So we see here, money is the key. Relationships, I don't need with a car salesman. So you're not looking for someone when people are bidding for your business, you're not looking for a relationship because there's no loyalty anymore. The loyalty was taken for granted. The loyalty was misused. You have tons of people who have bought 3, 4, 5 cars from a person, and when they truly find out that it's time to bid and I have to compete now, you're gonna see. So we're not interested in relationships with our car salespeople, banks. No, It's business. If you win the bid, we do business. If not, you get another shot at our next car. We're not hanging out at barbecues anymore. All right, go ahead, shoot the next one up. A lot of you gonna see. Some people said, Deshone, I've been buying from a broker for years, and I started using this, and I gave my broker a chance to bid, and he said, he kind of got offended. He doesn't want to compete. Doesn't want to compete. Deacon, the link to the book is in my TikTok bio. So he said, where's the link to the book? In my TikTok bio, 75% off. You get your copy for 30 minutes. So, all right, this one's from YouTube. My credit's excellent. Do you think the rates will go down for used cars this year? I keep seeing 8.49 without getting pre-qualified. Jay, it's a great question. I wish I had a crystal ball. We don't know what rates are going to be. Now, here's if you miss the bank bidding war, that's the only way to compete. See, we average rates we don't want to look at. We only want to get bids. And so if you see the average rate 8.49, that doesn't mean that's what you're going to pay. And we also want to make sure that round one of the bidding war, we're always checking to see if there's any special interest rates on the car we're looking for. From shopping for a Honda Pilot, from shopping for a used one, new, it doesn't matter. Round one of the bidding war, always got to check, is there any special interest rates? If there's 0%, if there's 1.99, 2.99, the need to shop rates is done. Okay? So you must check out that first. And then if those things aren't there, that's when you're going to initiate the bank bidding war to make sure that whatever the lowest rate is in the market, you get it. That's all we can do. All right, go ahead, shoot the next one up. All right, there's another one from YouTube. Is it best to fix up a car before trading it? Oh, you just said a curse word. What's the curse word in this, y'all? Actually, we got it. Who's a first-time viewer? Your first time on here, type of 1. I'm gonna just say this is a curse word that she just used. It's the T word. We don't use the word trade. We don't use the word trade. Yep, you got it, Adrian. We do not trade. The only time you're going to trade is if you're in a high negative equity position, and once you make that deal and you stay out of negative equity, you're most likely never going to trade again, because that means the person wins 2 bids. We get bids for our old car. You're giving the dealership 2 transactions. When you're buying a car from them and trading a car, that's 2 transactions. If you get a loan from them, that's 3 transactions. So what we do is we go to online buyers who pay cash for cars same day, and that's who we get bids from. And then second, we're going to get bids for our new car we're buying. So you're not usually going to have a dealer who wins the bid for the car you want to buy, and then also wins the bid to pay you the most for your old car against everyone else. So, but when it comes to getting the car fixed, I always say, don't get anything fixed on your car that's not dramatically increasing the value. You go get a couple nicks touched up, it might cost you $600-700, but it only increases the value by $600-700. So that means it was a wash. You only want to get things fixed before you sell the car that dramatically increase the value. Okay, that's the rule of thumb. Engines, transmissions, get these things fixed. Rebuilt engines, used transmissions, get those things installed, because without these things, the car becomes worthless. $500. But when you put I always tell the story of my dad. His engine went out on his Envoy, GMC Envoy, maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago. He got a rebuilt engine. He got a used engine rather. He's been driving that vehicle since, and he's about to sell it and get something different. So he got another 5 years, and he's going to sell that vehicle. Meanwhile, if the engine had went and he decided to get rid of it, the vehicle was probably worth $1,000 at that point. Okay. All right, go ahead. Next question, Dolan. Keep them coming. All right, I like a lot of questions coming in now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Dolan. Let's go. All right. This one's from Instagram. Tried to run my credit when I was buying out my lease, but was able to not let them do it. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. If you got your own financing, I always like to give the dealer a chance to beat the financing. See, that's a defense strategy that they taught you. Never let the dealer run your credit. No, we don't want the dealer to be our first offer, because when the dealer is your first offer, here's how it looks. Hey, how much? What's the highest rate you think they'll take? Hey, you think they'll take this rate? Go talk to them. When they're trying to beat something you got, now that's totally different. Now they're talking to their banks. Now they're picking up the phone. Hey, listen, this person has, 6.79 from their credit union. Can you beat that? You get what I'm saying? You'll see the difference. Type D if you see the difference in those conversations and the way you're positioned if you're out there on the other side. One, the leverage is against you. The second one, you have all the leverage. So that's how you do it. We always want to give the dealers a chance to beat the rate until we get to a point where we're letting lots of banks, where it's set up where lots of banks and credit unions can compete. Then at that point, the dealers just won't be able to beat that. Because, when you got 20, 30, 40 banks that are competing, then you won't need the dealer because chances are they're gonna beat it. But most of we're gonna shop, our bank, credit union, couple online people. Maybe we get 4, 5, 6 offers. That's not enough. The dealers have more banks than that. So you always want to give them a chance. If you do it right, this will take you 2 days to do this bidding war, and you end up with the lowest interest rate every single time. Guaranteed. That's how you guarantee. See, everything you're doing from now on, I want you to guarantee there's no better offer out there. You get what I'm saying? Guarantee I paid the lowest price for my car. Guarantee I got the most money for my old car. Guarantee I got the lowest interest rate available. And the only way to do that is with bids and multiple offers. All right, let's go. Keep it going, Dolan. Shoot the next one in. For those of you who just came on, I do these live shows, car shopping Q&A, to give you guys the information you need to save all the money you should be saving and to see the hidden money. Everything that I teach is out of my new digital book. It's called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's a shop from home process. Our mindset, our whole system is called Cars from Home. So I want you buying cars, saving more money than everyone in 30 minutes, 60 minutes from home. And that's what the book is about. You're not going to spend more than 30 minutes in a car dealership. And for our launch, we're doing you got 75% off for your copy. It's normally $97, but you can get your copy for 75% off in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio, or I'm going to type the link for you guys on Facebook and on YouTube. All right, go ahead. Shoot that question up, Dolan. Hold on. Let me put the link here for you guys, and then we'll get it. Come on, keep typing these questions, y'all, and type them quick. Wait, I done left out of the screen. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, I almost lost the screen. All right, Instagram. This one's from Instagram. What would you suggest when the dealer tries to run your credit for a test drive? Oh, we already did that question, Dolan. Let's go. Shoot the next one in. All right, this one's from TikTok. How much to negotiate my new lease? How much to negotiate my new lease? What do you mean by that? We talked about this. We get bids for leases. So everyone who's planning to shop, and if you are not keeping your car 8 years, you should be shopping for leases. Whatever you heard, the more it's been wrong. I hate to tell you the bad news, but somebody has to tell you the bad news. Whatever you heard about it, who heard, never lease a car. Type the raise your hand emoji or type me if you've heard, never lease a car. If you've heard things like, horrible advice like leasing is the most expensive way to own a car. If you've heard this, type me or okay. I see you, just Elena. A lot of you. Okay. Lewis. That advice has cost anyone who's not keeping their car 8 years thousands of dollars. Thousands. Because it's no comparison when you get great lease deals, which means you're not looking at what's advertised. You're not looking like look at Danielle. So Danielle, Audi lease, $44,000 vehicle, Some of you know every $5,000 that you borrow is about how much per month? Every $5,000 that you borrow, that's a $44,000 car. We could just estimate, let's say 45. Okay, Coconut Fair, you got it. $100. So every time you look at a car, if you just divide it by 5,000, you'll get an idea of how much it should cost per month on a 5-year loan. Forget the money down. That comes later if you're going to do it. You got to be able to look at a car without putting money into the deal and say, how much would this cost? So 44,000, that's normally about a $900 payment on that Audi. Danielle's paying $550. Now, if you saw the commercial, are they advertising that deal? $550, come give us $550, drive off in this Audi A3. Absolutely not. Remember what I'm about to say. Great deals that you're going to make will never be advertised. Danielle will look at the Audi A3 commercial and says, wow, it says to get this payment, they needed $4,000 plus tax. All I did was give them $550. So leasing is the way to beat depreciation for people who are not keeping their cars 8 years, but you have to get great lease deals. Now, the only way you're going to get great lease deals is you need to get multiple offers because 80% of dealers are overpriced. In the beginning of the show, I talked to y'all about the manual way to do it. You can call, you can ask for sales managers. Check out the replay on YouTube because I don't want to go over and repeat that for those people who have been here. I don't want to go over the same thing, but at the beginning of the show, maybe the first 10 minutes, that was one of the questions of how we're going to get multiple offers. But that's the only way you're going to see how much money is in these overpriced dealers. And if you're shopping correctly and getting multiple offers correctly, you should see a $3,000 to $5,000 difference between your best offer and the highest offer. It should be $3,000 to $5,000 minimum. The higher price cars, you see a bigger spread. You see $5,000 to $7,000 difference. You know, Kimberly, some of you know Kimberly, she got a Maserati. It was $20,000 she ended up saving. So without multiple offers, you're never going to find out what the bottom price is in the market and be able to get below market deals. So you could do it manual way, or you could use my 25 to 5 strategy in my book. Okay? But you got to do it. And it's from home. We're not in dealerships doing this. We are literally controlling this from home, getting multiple people to bid. And, you know, you feel like the prize. You're going to now feel like you should. I'm the prize. Now people are competing to win my business as they should. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next one in. Let me take Danielle's picture down, put the banner back up. For those of you who are on Facebook, or if you're watching us on the television, you can scan that QR code and you can get your book for 75% off, or you can go to deshonsbook.com. Okay, this one's from YouTube. If we sell the SUV 1 year lease old to CarMax, how long should we wait to buy for system to show it's paid off? You could get a paid off letter. You get a letter that shows that the car is paid off, even if it's behind the scenes. If you go in and, you know, you can get a payoff letter. That's easy. That's easy to get. You can when you sell your car to somebody, you can easily get proof that it's been paid off. All right, just ask for it. All right, go ahead. Next one, Dolan. Keep them coming. All right, this one from TikTok. Type your questions, y'all. We're getting through as many as we can. What's the best way to go if you're upside down? Great question. So some of you are going to do the equity assessment process, and you're going to find out you owe more money on your car than it's worth. In fact, there's a big epidemic that they say is already here, that if some of you have been following me on TikTok since I came to 2021, I was literally shouting from the hills to not buy these overpriced cars because the market was going to drop in 2 years. And I said 2024, people are going to look up and they're going to have cars that are 15,000 in negative equity. And some of you said, yo, I'm gonna hold off. You heeded the warnings, or you used the strategies we were teaching back then, because I I knew some people needed cars, so we were teaching strategies on how to get multiple offers from back then. So now there's two solutions for those of you who find yourself in a negative equity position if you want a car. Two solutions. One of them, there's actually three solutions that I talk about, but one of them doesn't lead to a car. That's why I call negative equity the devil to your car deals. It's the bad credit for people with good credit. Because in that third solution, in that third scenario, you cannot get a car at this particular time. But let's talk about the first two. First is you get your offers from the online buyers who pay the most. Get the bids: CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book, Instant Cash Offer, Car Guru, Sell My Car, AutoNation, Sell My Car. Get those 6 offers. If the negative equity is something you can cover the difference, I owe 20, my highest offer is 18. That means in that situation, you have 2,000 of negative equity. You're much better off paying the 2,000 all day long and pay the difference, because those bids are going to be your highest bids. So that's going to lead to the least amount of negative equity. Depending on where you do your transaction, your negative equity amount will change. So if you're going this route and you can pay the difference, that's your best route because they pay the most, meaning you'll have the least amount of negative equity working that scenario. Now, some of you are going to see you can't pay the difference. That means you must trade. This is the only instance where we trade, because you must trade, because you need the dealer who wins the bid for your car to actually roll your negative equity into that deal. So whatever the vehicle is worth to them, after you make your offer, after you get your bids, after you identify them, you must identify the winning dealer first. If you try to do this with an 80%, you're going to get killed, and just you're leaving thousands and thousands of dollars on the table and just, being lazy, unfortunately. But if you now say, all right, I'm getting the bids now because I can't pay the difference, whoever wins the bid of your multiple offers, you're now going to go to them and say, or, we do this from home. Hey, I have a car. Could you tell me what it's worth to you? I was getting offers online, but if I could do it all in one transaction, then I'd do it with you. You don't need to tell them what you owe. The only thing that's important is what they can pay. Now, when they come back, they might say, listen, I could max give you about 16.5 for it. Now, you might have known CarMax was going to pay you 18. And you would have had 2,000 of negative equity. But with them, 16.5, you have 3,500 of negative equity. There's nothing you can do, because they can't pay what the highest bidder is going to pay. It's just not possible. That means they're winning both bids. It's not possible. So you have to take the highest offer they can give, and whatever that negative equity ends up being is now going to go into your deal, and that's the way you do it. So you have less control, which is why I tell you, don't just know how to get out of negative equity, know what's causing it. And what's causing it is you don't lease. That's what's causing it. You can queue up the next question. We'll get to that right now, Dolan. That's the cause. You don't lease. You buy cars. You're not a long-term owner. Long-term owners, who type K, if you got a keeper outside, we call those keepers. Car that's been outside 8+ years, 9, 10. You can type the number of years it's been. I not type the number of years you've had your car. And I want to give the people who are not in the habit of being keepers or buying cars that are going to be keepers, I want to give them a clear look at what a true keeper is. Not two. If it's less than 8, you don't need to comment right now. I'm telling you, this is if you're not looking to get to this level, because what the benefit of this level, this is the purpose for buying a car. Because some of you know, I talk about the depreciation curve. The depreciation curve is like this. From the day you buy your car, the vehicle's dropping in value massively. But it starts to do like this the more you keep it. So it's losing less value year by year. Those of you who are typing 8 years, look, somebody said 19 years. Look, you have the benefit of losing very little value every year. The same price your car is worth now is about the same price it'll be worth a year from now. That means you've won, you've outlived the depreciation. Look, Vincent said I got a 2004 F-150, 20 years old. So you've beat the depreciation through long term. Notice this has nothing to do with how you paid for the car. Oh, Deshone, I pay cash for my cars. Doesn't matter. Won't change the curve. So how you beat the curve is through long-term ownership, 8+ years, or aggressive lease deals for short-term people. That's it. Those of you who are stuck in this middle and you're replacing your cars here 3, 4, 5, 6 years and you're not leasing, you're losing so much money. And unless you pay cash for cars, you're still losing it, but you're in a negative situation. You're in a negative equity situation many times. So you should be transferring your negative equity to a lease. All right, unless you're in an emergency situation where you're just switching cars and you're going to keep the next car 8 years, but most of you are not. All right, go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next one up. This one's YouTube. How does your lease program work with electric vehicles like Rivian and Lucid? Those cars seem to be sold differently than normal dealerships. Okay, any dealer, all right, Teslas, anything, it's not about electric. It's about, is the car sold direct with no negotiation, one price, which is Tesla's model? What is our goal of getting bids for cars we're buying? Everyone type, and if you haven't been here before, you got to stay close to your keyboard because I don't talk at you. I'm having a conversation, which means if I ask you a question, I need you to type and answer. What is our goal when we're getting bids? What's the reason we're doing this? Let's see who could cut. Let's see the best answer. I want to see some answers. Let me go on my phone so I can see Instagram. I know we got Dolan bringing in questions, but let me go on my phone. What is our goal? No, don't shoot the next question up yet, Dolan. I'm asking. Comparison, yep. To get the best deal, yep. Okay, show me the money, best offer, comparison, best offer, lowest deal. Lowest deal, price assurance, yes, James, I love that. That's the goal, price assurance. That means there's no way I could have paid less for this car. That's what you only get by bids. Now, if they have no way to adjust the price, which Tesla doesn't, it's one price, then there's no reason to get bids on that part of the purchase. There's no reason to get bids. So that part is eliminated. The bank bidding war isn't. Making sure that if they have a bad lease program over 1.5% with no money down, that's not eliminated. But when it comes to shopping prices, that's eliminated. So depending on the electric vehicle, if it's a one price model, everywhere in the country sells it for one price, then you don't get bids for that. But if it's an electric vehicle like anything else, then absolutely, bids, always bids. And the process doesn't change. You could be getting a Rolls Royce. What about if a luxury car, an exotic car, Lamborghini? Does not matter. In fact, it's more important when you see how much money you save getting bids on those cars, because it's such a difference. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up, brother. All right. Instagram. This one's from Instagram. What's a good amount to negotiate on a used car? I heard 15 to 20% off the price is max. Nope, not at all. There's no way. All right, give you an example. There's two types of dealers that sell used cars. One dealer marks the price up high and prepares to negotiate with the public. Another dealer maybe leaves themselves $1,500 and they want to sell cars like volume. They want the cars going in 2-3 days, gone. You're not going to negotiate with the one dealer the same way you're going to negotiate with the other dealer, which is why when we shop for used cars, we're looking at the entire market at home, and then we're going to make the best. We're going to find and identify our car from home based on something I call the true value percentage. The true value percentage is not what the dealer is discounting the used car. The true value percentage is how much am I saving from the original new price. I always use my Infinity truck I got, for an example, all the vehicles that I was looking at, they were all between 30 and 32. I had narrowed it down to 4. They're all similar. They're all the same color. Online, they seemingly all look the same. Besides a little difference, I saw one of them had these different rims on it. But if that's all I know, then I'm gonna. It's hard for me to decide, right? But we know more than that, and you're gonna know more than that. When we get the new price, I saw that one of the cars was brand new, 46, one was 48, one was 52, and the one I ended up getting was 54.5. Now that's the discount that I'm measuring. That's called the true value percentage. And you don't have to Google that. You won't find it because I made it up. The true value percentage means what is the percentage I'm saving from the new price? The marketplaces can't show you this because the true value percentage, the one I got was 42% off the new price. If they showed you this, then that means the cars that offer the lowest true value percentage wouldn't even appear on their site. They never sell. You never see when a person says 1% true value discount, that means the car was brand new 40 and they're asking 39.5 for it. No one's going to buy that. So what they're going to do is try to show you things like good deal, great deal, based on their algorithms and their market value, because they're not there to make their people compete. They're there to help all those cars sell. So when you do the true value percentage, that's the only thing that matters. And really, when you're looking at a used car, outside of making sure it's a good car, there's a process for making sure it's a good car: title, service records, accident histories. But once we get into the numbers, it's about the true value percentage. That's all it's about. All right, go ahead. Next one, Dolan. Keep them coming, y'all. Type your questions fast. All right, and shout out to everybody that shared. If you just jumped on, these lives are part of, I guess I would say they're sponsored by my new digital book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping: 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. So it's a totally online process. 90 to 100% of our new car purchase is done from home. 90% of our used car purchase is done from home. You can't do 100%. Why can't we do 100% on used cars? 90 to 100% on new cars and leases? Absolutely. Sometimes 100% because they can deliver the car to you. Why can't we do 100% of our transaction on a used car from home? Does anybody know? Let's see. I'm gonna give it 5 seconds and then I'll tell everybody. Got a test drive. Exactly. Great job. Great job, Stephanie. That's the reason. And the test drive is always the last step with a used car, because everything, you should never be going to see a used car, not guaranteeing that it's the lowest price used car in the market. You found that online. You verified there's no bogus fees. We do that before we leave. And the only thing I'm going to do there is test drive and lock the deal up. What I do is I'll ask for, $500 to $1,000 off when I get there, because you have leverage. But you always know, even if I don't get it, because I just told you how the best dealers work. They're not leaving thousands of dollars in room there. It's already the best price in the market, and they know that because there's a tool called B Auto that dealers use. When they price their cars, it shows them where their car ranks among all other cars in the nation, if they want, zip code, city. So they know this car is the best price in the market. So when you get there, yeah, I might ask for $750, $1,000, and he might say, look, I put it all out there. I give you another $200. That's all. Now we know they're telling the truth because we are researched. When you're not researched and they tell you that, yo, man, he just don't want a deal. No, you don't know a deal. And that's a big difference. But that's why we can't do 100% of our used car transactions from home. All right, Dolan, go ahead. Shoot that next one up. Great questions today. Everybody getting value out of the show? If you're getting value, type $signs if you're getting value out of the show. Go ahead. This one's from Instagram. Can you trade in your car? Man, y'all in these curse words. We don't trade. We don't trade. Check out the replay. You might have just jumped on, Isaiah. We don't trade. We get bids. And again, I don't want to repeat that for the people who've been on the show for the whole, I think we've been on for about 45 minutes, but we do not trade. And yes, you should be. In fact, a lot of what you're asking, we hit on. So check out Facebook, watch the first 20 minutes. Check out YouTube, the replay's up there, and that question will be answered for you. All right, go ahead. This one's from TikTok. It's 2.9 a good lease deal? Absolutely not. If you're basing it off of my formula, which is based on the 1% rule and 1.5 being the highest offer, that looks more like a great interest rate than that's a horrible lease deal. I don't even know how you're calculating it, but if you're calculating it based on dividing the monthly payment into the MSRP and it's 2.9%, it's probably one of the worst lease deals I've ever seen. All right, this one's from YouTube. How do you find a reliable used car? One of the steps that we take to make sure we're getting a good car is we do a 5-minute process. This is in step 4. My book is based on 7 steps. My system, everything I'm teaching you, is based on 7 steps. So some part of what I'm telling you is based on a step. This comes out of our shopping step, which is deciding what we want. We take 5 minutes, we type in the year, make, model of the vehicle, and there's 2 terms that you need to remember. 3 if you're buying long-term. First is you type in the year, make, and model, initial quality. And that's going to tell you what people are saying about the car the first 90 days. Initial quality is first 90 days. You're going to skim the first page of Google. If you see anything, you're going to see articles. You're going to skim anything that looks like a red flag. Owners report, electric issues or anything. Once you skim that, now you're going to replace initial quality with reliability. Now, reliability is what people are saying the first 3 years. We don't listen to people, their opinion on cars. There's too many cars out here, and people don't have the data on cars. Your neighbor, I always say, your neighbor is not the data. Hey, Jim, man, I see you got the Kia Telluride, man. Hey, how you like it? Is it a good car? Well, there's 10,000 Kia Tellurides that have been sold, and he only knows about his. His might be a good one. 5%, 10% of the owners might be reporting that there's issues. So you want to go where the data is, and this is how you do it. You're going to type in it, reliability. And so any of you who are going to be leasing and buying a brand new car, you should be doing that step. Take you 5 minutes, skim the first articles, reliability, initial quality. Now, if you're buying a car long-term and you're keeping it 8+ years, then you should be typing in longevity. And that's going to bring up, sometimes it'll tell you right at the top, these cars are known to last 200 to 300,000 miles. Oh, owners report transmission problems around 80,000 miles. If you haven't done this and you buy a used version of the car at 65,000 miles, and then 2 years later the transmission starts slipping, it's not because you couldn't have avoided this. This is how you avoid those issues. And again, there's no guarantees, but when you follow the data, oh, that's a red flag. I'm not getting a 65,000 mile one if I see that they report transmission issues at 80,000 miles. And this is what we call a quality, this is a reliability and initial quality, a longevity check. That's how we make sure we're buying a reliable used car. And the rest is making sure you're doing title, service records, accident history. You take all those steps. See, what I'm giving you is boundaries. You can choose to step over the boundaries if you want, but at least you know that there's boundaries now. You get what I'm saying? if you don't know you're breaking the law, then are you breaking the law? I'm going 70 miles an hour. There was no sign. I didn't know. Once the sign is there and I'm going 80, now I know that I'm stepping over a boundary. And I know I'm taking more risk. All right, go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next one up. Good questions, good questions, good questions. Everybody, if you're like Deshone, this is too much to remember. It's all in my new digital book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. I'm gonna put the link for you guys to get your copy at 75% off as part of our launch. It's normally $97. You got 30 minutes. Once that timer hits 0, it's going back to $97. So get yours for $24. It'll be in your inbox in minutes, and you can be using this, and you don't have to try to remember all of this stuff anymore. But either way, you get it how you want it. You want to get it from the shows, you want to get it from my videos. But I think a lot of you can see that although a lot of you are in the same situation, there's different situations. So if you want, I just need how I'm going to lease. That's in my book, step by step. How I'm going to buy my used car. That's in my book, step by step. So you get in where you fit in. All right, this one's from TikTok. I did your calculation and it came out below 1.5. Thank you, Lorna. I love your advice. Thank you. And look, 1.5 should be the lowest of all your offers. The goal is not to get a lease under 1.5, because that's one goal, but only if, I told you, it should be a $3,000 to $5,000 difference in your offers. So if you have offers and one of them is 1.6, one's 1.7, one's 1.8, and then the lowest is 1.5, that's a win. If you get one offer and he gets it to under 1.5, because some people are watching us and they're depending on people who want a shortcut, already short process. If you're using what I'm teaching, this takes you 90 minutes. You should be able to get car deals in 90 minutes or less if you're using what I'm teaching. What car salespeople who are the 80%, they're very wise in what they do. So they're going to look for people who come in and talk about 1.5%. And if they know they have the programs, they'll get you under 1.5%, even though their competitors could have got you 1.3. So 1.5 is always the goal when you're shopping to not overpay. But the only time 1.5 is the best offer is when every single other offer that we have is above that. Does that make sense? Type clear if y'all clear on that. You don't go in with the goal of 1.5. You go in with the goal to get the best offer in the market and see what it is. Let's take somebody like Bonita. Bonita, middle of the pandemic, she got a Telluride. When people were paying $5-10 grand over a sticker for Telluride, she leased one $48,000 vehicle. She gave him $600 and she drove off. That was her best offer she got from home. $600 into $48,000, she got a 1.25 lease. I think it might have been $46,000. It was middle of the pandemic. See, I'm showing you that we've been getting deals, below market deals, since the pandemic. For those of you who are going to use strategy, you're going to see lots of deals. For those who are not, it's going to seem like there's no deals anywhere. So $600, $46,000, yep, 1.3. Now, if she had went in with a goal of 1.5, she would have never gotten 1.3. So you don't dictate. We never dictate where we need the bottom to be. We're going to shop offers wherever the bottom is, as long as it's under 1.5 and we have a spread of offers. Now we're winning. All right. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up. All right, I'm trying to get through these last couple fast as possible. All right, y'all know we're on a time limit. I would love to do these shows forever, but we keep these going. So even if you don't see, whenever you see one, hop on, because even if someone's usually going to ask a question similar to yours, if not the same question. Go ahead. All right, this one's Instagram. I'm looking to buy a used Toyota 2022 or 2023 Camry XSE, but it seems like it's a low inventory of them. What do I do if there's a low inventory? I'm looking everywhere. First of all, let me explain something. Those of you who are looking for a used 1 or 2 year old car, it's going to be hard because the only two ways dealerships get used cars is they buy them off lease. The average lease is 3 years. So you're not going to usually see a 1 or 2 year old one. Or the second way is if they buy them from someone, which means someone has to be in a Toyota Camry and decide in 1 year, all right, I'm ready to replace this. Or I'm in a Toyota 2 years, I'm ready to replace this. That's not usually going to happen. That's why you're usually not going to see used cars in bulk until the 3rd year when they start to come off lease. Now you start to see more inventory. So I would tell you to, shop wider. But before I buy a 23, you don't have anything to compare it to because there's not enough inventory. I would always shop the market for a new one first. Shop the market for a new one first. See what the best offer is. You might see that you can save $4,000 or $3,000 on a new one. Now, in order for me to buy, now that sets the market for the used ones. If I don't know what the best offer is, like if somebody was buying a 1 year old Jeep Grand Cherokee, well, it's a $45,000 vehicle. They might go and say, well, I'm looking for a 1 year old one for 39 or 38. That's a problem because depending on the new Jeep deals, you might be able to get a brand new one, 45, you might be able to get that for 39. So if you go out and look for a 1 or 2 year old one, but you don't know what the new market is, if the new market's distressed, you end up paying close to what a new one would be for your used one. So if anybody, this is only for those of you who are like, I want to buy a 1 or 2 year old used car, not 3, not 4, not 5, 1 or 2. You should be shopping the new market and then seeing where the market is, and then let that be the gauge on how much you're looking to save on a 1 or 2 year old. All right, makes sense? Okay, go ahead. Shoot the next one up, Dolan. Listen, tell that. Listen, we get a lot of these people come on late. He said, "Oh, what's your thoughts on an Audi Q8?" We already answered that. We don't get people's opinions on cars. It's subjective. We're going to where the data is. Watch the replay. We went over this about 15 minutes ago because opinions are subjective. I could love the Audi Q8 and then it's a horrible car. The data shows it's not a good car, or that specific year is not a good one. So just check the replay out and check it out. We talked about that about 15 minutes ago. This one's from TikTok. I have a question. Do dealerships pad the interest rate from the bank? Yes. If they can. Yeah. If they're trying to beat your offer, they probably don't have room to pad the interest rate. So you should be looking at the bank bidding one. See, this is what I said. You see, many of you should be watching the replays. If you came on late, somebody's going to ask you a question. So go to YouTube, go to Facebook, watch the replay, because a lot of these questions we went over in the show because many of you are in the same situation as each other. All right, go ahead. Next one, Dolan. My transmission is starting to go out on my paid off vehicle. Should I get the car fixed or a new car? Depends on your values. If your goal is this, about 20 minutes ago, I asked where the keepers were. That means I'm keeping my car as long as possible. I'm outside the depreciation curve. My vehicle is losing little value every year, and I'm keeping it as long as possible. The longer I keep it, the more valuable the vehicle is to me. Then you go get a used transmission. I talked about my dad's engine going a couple years ago. He went and got a rebuilt engine, used engine rather. He's had that car for another 5 or 6 years. The value, the replacement cost. Don't consider what it cost you to get the transmission. That might be, and make sure you have a great mechanic, use a service shop locally that you trust, that you can depend on. Ask around on social media, who's been here 10, 15, 20 years. Everybody loves them, trustworthy. That's who you want to deal with. See if they get you a used transmission from a salvage yard, because you're not going to consider that cost. You're comparing that to the cost of replacement. The cost of replacement might mean what's coming. All right, $2,500 to put in a used transmission, or a new car payment coming out of my house because I'm starting a whole nother car. So it depends on your values. Going for more value out of that car. Most keepers would say if their goal is a keeper, I'm doing it. I'm getting another transmission in the car. That's it. So you get what I'm saying? All right, y'all. We just hit the hour. The, the, what would the best monthly payment be? See, it's a good question because I know it's something you sincerely want to know, but it's a question that you're not going to be asking monthly payments once you start really understanding the numbers, because if you're buying a car, then you're looking at the fact every $5,000 is about $100 a month. So on a $60,000 car, monthly payment will be $1,100 a month for 5 years. But your question shouldn't be what is a good monthly payment. It's how do we know 60,000 was the best price for the car? You get what I'm saying? We're not concerned with what the monthly payment is at first. We're concerned with, is 60,000 the lowest, whatever car you're going to put there, used BMW X5, whatever, is 60,000 the best price for the car? Because payments will mask the actual price you're paying for the car if you don't understand what I'm talking about. You come in, hey, I like that car. You know what's the payments like on that? Well, it's normally 1,200. Oh man, shoot, boy, that's high. Anyway, I could get it down to like 950. How much could you put down? I could probably put down like, maybe 10. You lost already. You're negotiating from strength based on you're negotiating off from weakness based on payments, which means you're not looking at the price of the car. You're talking numbers in the dealership. And so that's not the goal. Step back. We are getting bids. When you separate your transaction into 3 transactions max, who I sell my car to is one transaction. Who I get my loan from, another transaction. Who I buy my car from, another transaction. And every single one of them is going to be a bidding process. When you step back and that's how you roll, you'll never ask what should monthly payments be on that. Because the bank works out the monthly payments, and then we have the budgeting tool, the perfect budget. Everyone who has my book, if you got your copy for 75% off, in day 3 is a tool that I created called the perfect budget. Perfect budget calculator. You put in numbers. This is how much I possibly could put down. This is where I want my monthly payment. This is what state I'm in. It tells you multiple goals. You can't pay more than this for a car. This is where you start. Look for a car here. Goal 1, look for a car at this price. If you can't, jump up here. If you can't, look up here. If you can't, jump up here. But once you get here, you cannot pay more than this price for a car before you are over your budget. So grab the book. I'll release it. I'm just trying to see how we're going to release it, because without people understanding how to use it, then it's going to be pretty much worthless to you. So, but for those of you who have the book and you've had it, if you got into step 3 in the process, you see the perfect budget calculator. And we're not depending on and this is one of the videos that really brought me to the world. I went on TikTok, my first video ever, and I said the worst thing you could say in a car dealership, the worst thing is just get me to this payment and we have a deal. That video resonated with millions of people, thank God, and it's been seen over 26 million times. And since then, it's been about explaining why payments can be manipulated. We do not shop based on payments. We need to understand the numbers. And so I do my best to try to help you guys understand the numbers. But if you're getting bids, you ain't gonna lose. You cannot lose getting bids. The only way you can lose is if you're negotiating 1-to-1. That's when you lose. You can't win. Just like you can't lose getting bids, you can't win 1-on-1 negotiating. All right. So, all right, y'all. We just hit the hour mark. Absolutely great. We will be back. Whenever you see me live, jump on. catch the questions. And if you want everything I teach in one spot, my new digital book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping, is officially out. It's a 7-step process. Everything from leasing to buying used cars, new cars, the bank bidding, it's all a 7-step process. So I don't want you having to overthink. I don't want your ideas. I want your goal. You come with the goal, I'll give you the strategy. And so grab your copy for 75% off in my TikTok bio or in my Instagram bio. There's a website in both. And then for you guys here on Facebook and YouTube, I'm going to throw the link up for you guys one more time. You could do deshonesbook.com. Or if you're watching us on TV, just scan the QR code with your mobile phone. Grab your copy for 75% off. It's a digital book. Anything changes in the market, like Room went out of business a couple months ago, I just update the book. That's the beautiful thing about a digital book is when something changes, I update the master file and you open up the book and it's relevant. A year from now, you open it up, whatever changes, the master file will be changed. And so you'll be able to always have a relevant book. And we couldn't do that if we were printing books. So enjoy, guys. It was a great show. Got a lot of great questions, and I will see you on the next one. And DM me about these sharers, y'all. Sharers, DM me. Let me know what we can do to reward the sharers, because I appreciate you all. Inviting people, we can't do it without you. All right, I'll see y'all next time. God bless.